Welcome to Men on Everything. This is our weekly show where we look at all the hot topics that are going on from around the world. I'm Tony Scott in St. Louis. Mark Clark is at the studios of Radio 103.9 in New York, and Troy Johnson is at Bubba Gump.
Yeah. That's right.
Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor.
Not yet.
But he's at Bubba Gump's, and he joins us from there, man. So what's going on, guys? How's it going?
Well, you know what's getting ready to go down. These shrimp I'm getting ready. You know what's going on. Yes.
Two things are going down today. ISIS and the shrimp.
That's right. No doubt.
You know what? Let's start there, man, because last night the U.S. started their air attack in Syria on ISIL, man. I yield to Troy on this because he works in news and stuff. So, well, are we officially at war now? Because I don't remember getting an official war declaration in my email, man. But are we officially at war?
If it's on like Donkey Kong means anything to you, then yeah, we're at war. Wow. I think it's a situation where the president outlined what the game plan was going to be several weeks ago. He said that there would be some bombing. And it's not bombs over Baghdad, but it sure as hell is bombs over Syria.
Yeah.
Which initially was in question whether or not that was going to be able to happen or not, because they were, obviously having to deal with Assad. They were not sure if they were going to be able to get cooperation, but they got cooperation. And the interesting thing about this is there's a coalition, which he said, we're not going at this alone. The United States is the only Western member of this coalition. The other countries are all Arab nations, including Saudi Arabia and Bahrain and a few others that are taking the lead on this particular aspect. Which is also saying, says a lot. Says that Arab nations are not standing for this. This is not Islam. What IS or ISIS or ISIL, whatever you want to call them. That's not what it's all about. So they're going in too with us.
So, but the president, you talked about several weeks ago planning a strategy, but it wasn't that long ago where he said he didn't have a strategy. So I'm guessing he was giving everybody the okie dokie, which I'm glad that he did. I mean, at the time, people were like, well, how does he not have strategy? He's the president. How do you not have strategy? I mean, to me, I was like, he's got strategy, but who tells the world what the strategy is? Who does that? I mean, does Bill Belichick mail his offensive attack strategy to Chip Kelly before a game against the Eagles? No. No. Wait a minute. I pulled a muscle stretching that one, man.
That's good, though, man.
Wait a minute. Give us one more no, please, Tony. One more no, please. One more no, Tony. Come on, man.
What?
One more no.
Yeah.
Huh?
No.
No.
I think sadly, Troy and Tony, I felt like the president was waiting for the next beheading. I think they knew that was going to happen, and I think it was like he didn't want to. How you can't really sell wolf tickets and then knowing that was going to. So that's what it felt like to me. Like he was waiting, sadly, for that to kind of either get interrupted or go down before he spoke of aggression. Because if he said that and then the next day the gentleman was beheaded, then it would have kind of, it would have been a bad thing. So I think that's kind of sadly how you kind of play the press,
Well, and the other big question, though, Troy, is this: he has said no, but it's kind of hard to predict these things when we get involved in this. Are we gonna have boots on the ground or not? Because he says no, but that's not. I can't hold him to that. Can you?
I think it's going to be interesting. The problem is Americans are tired of war. Now, I mean, we don't want to be at war, obviously, but we're in situations where, as the preeminent military force in America, we oftentimes have to come to the aid of other people. Now, we can debate whether we should or shouldn't. A lot of people think we shouldn't. Some people think that we should. But the bottom line is, right now, nobody wants to hear about that.
Well, I mean, it's back to like 9/11, man. When 9/11 happened, we wanted justice.
Right.
And we've had two Americans beheaded. We want justice.
Right.
But I remember when the war was getting ready to start after 9/11, I remember talking to someone who was a retired veteran, and they were telling me when people were saying we want justice, we want Osama bin Laden's head, he told me Americans have no idea what they're asking for.
Yeah.
They have not a clue what it means to go to war. This ain't 1960 something. This is now. Technology's different. People's philosophies are different. You know, and it's way different. He said people have no idea what they want, man. They don't know what they're asking for. That's what he would say.
I'll go on the record with you guys, but not in front of the president, to say,
you know, he watches, man, right?
Like Troy, you said go to war. The United States going to help people. I don't believe that anymore. That was in my youth. I believe that. I'm not buying that anymore.
So what's the agenda then, Mark? What's the agenda?
Who knows? And you know what? You don't know the agenda. Just like the president's strategy, and just like these conversations that they're having about the strategy to take out ISIL, that's all BS. That's not real. You can't, like you said, you're fighting a war. Why would you tell people what you're going to do to them? That doesn't make sense. So I think that's also what the president and we deal with now is people. You could say that back in the old days and get us hyped up about justice, but I think nowadays it's a different animal. You know, I think people. I don't think because it's not everything at the end of the day we find out 10 years later that the reason we went to war wasn't the reason that they said it was going to be, starting with probably Vietnam.
But so you're basing it. I mean, the last time when President Bush was and we went after Saddam Hussein. It became very evident that we went over there for reasons, other reasons than what he was telling us, right, Troy?
Yeah, we didn't get the real story. I mean, we know that we're dealing with a terrorist organization, and I would say it's probably easier, as you've heard in the last 24 hours, for us to say, okay, we're gonna strike these targets, we're gonna strike these areas that are strongholds of ISIS, and you can do that because. You know, it's like the big bully at school. You know, he's going to tell you what he's going to do.
Right.
I'm about to knock you out.
Yeah.
Or
I'm about to feed you your ass. Yeah.
Or I can break a leg. I mean, it's up to you. What do you want? So, you know, they're not in any way, shape, or form ready for the kind of bombardment that we're bringing today. They don't have any way to retaliate. So I think. It kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. I think that, you know.
But isn't there retaliation more beheadings? And that's what we don't want.
No, you don't want that. But I think that, you know, if you start, you know, there was a side mission that happened along the way. There's another terrorist group that was ready to launch an imminent attack that they took out and may have even taken the leader out. So, and they did that on the side. You know, it's like this little extra thing that we're doing. A group that is, the way I've heard was wanting to launch attacks at the West outside of the region that, you know, has the fighting going on now. So you know, they're obviously aware of all the threats that are headed America's way. I mean, you have to give them at least that much credit that they know what's going on.
Right.
It's just a matter.
Well, I will say this about President Obama. He has a poker face because, you know, he was telling jokes at the White House press dinner at the same time that SEAL Team 6 was going in on Osama bin Laden, and no one even had a clue.
That's right.
So, So back over here, man, Ray Rice is accusing TMZ of editing the in-elevator video. And
what did they edit?
You know, TMZ's like, yeah, we edited the video. Of course we did.
Yeah,
you know,
we edited the video. You asked.
but here's the question: Did they edit you hitting your wife?
Exactly.
Was that edited? Yes or no? That's all we need to know, Ray.
Why is Ray talking so much?
Ray?
I don't know.
Well, you know, we might be putting the cart before the horse because I know Tony wants to explain the whole situation. But Mark, you are right. Loose lips.
No, I mean, no. Go ahead, man. Because I was gonna add that over 7,000 people traded in their Ray Rice jerseys.
Well, I'll do a quick one, Tony, because you know, Troy, I go forever. Couple observations. Number one, Ray Lewis, cut the hair.
The Lego hair.
Let it go, Ray. Ray.
What about
I love
Mark,
Ray. Bro, you know how much I love Ray. I love
man,
Ray.
we love Ray.
Let it go, brother.
But
The old grow it up? No.
But he's got that Beijing in it too, man. That's not working.
No Beijing. No Beijing for you.
Oh, man.
One. Number two, it's hard to talk about somebody you love. Boy. Ray was struggling with that one. Ray gave us a sermon that didn't make sense. Number three.
Right.
Number three.
But you're right. It is hard to criticize someone you love, especially on a public platform.
And let me just say this, because I love you two guys. Let me just say this. You guys both know me. I think I'm pretty good. I think if I had to criticize somebody I love, I'd be pretty good at it. Okay, number four. Number four. Wouldn't you guys agree? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people, I think I'd say, no, man, Tony's messing up. Okay?
Yeah. And then he would buy me lunch.
Number four, Ray Rice. Shut the hell up. Okay? You smacked the snot out of your wife. Shut up. Nobody wants to hear anything you have to say. You could have saved all that energy for that weak-ass press conferences when you and your wife roll up each time. It's terrible. So, please, be quiet. Number four, Bishotti.
That's five.
I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Bishotti shows you and Ray, that no matter how rich you are, you can still make bad decisions when it comes to your hair. What the hell's going on? Ray and Bishotti are using the same Beijing in their hair.
But you know, Bishotti brought up the fact that if the NFL adopts a no tolerance policy on domestic violence, then it's very conceivable that some women will make things up to get a ball player in trouble. And my response to that is that the only reason why the NFL should not have a no tolerance policy?
You can't be, let me just say this.
You can't be tolerant at all of domestic violence.
There's three words here that come to mind. Be a man. Okay?
Yeah.
All you men complaining from comparing to the what's the chick, the volleyball player?
Hope Solo.
Hope Solo. You know, quit pulling stuff out your ass. A man can't smack a woman and knock her out. Okay? A man can't beat his wife. Okay? I don't care about all these comparisons, but what about blah, 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 blah? I don't care about blah, 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 blah. All I care about is quit beating your wife. Yes, I like a no challenge policy. That'll wake these people up. That's the only thing, as Chris Carter would say, that's the only thing that they'll pay attention to. That's right. Sit them down. That's the only thing.
Well, let's talk about Hope Solo, though, because Hope Solo, the soccer player who has a domestic violence charge on her for beating her sister and her sister's 17-year-old son. Now, I will say this. That's not the same thing as what Ray Rice did, but it still is domestic violence.
Yeah. But what does that have to, what's the argument, though? I don't care.
Well, the argument is that she's got charges against her, but the soccer federation, she's captain of the team. She was given the Player of the Game award the other day, and she's still allowed to represent the United States
in the World Cup.
Yeah, in the World Cup. Damn. That's why. Because nobody.
But we have to give a damn.
There's a whole bunch of people. Let me tell you, there's a whole bunch of people walking around who did the same thing, who are unfamous, that nobody gives a damn about. Right? It's wrong. She should pay. But I'm not talking about Han Solo right now. We're talking about Ray Rice. We're talking about Ray Rice. We're talking about the NFL.
Wait a minute. See, I know that Mark had no pun intended, but when he called her Han Solo and she used her hands, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, you know I'm quick with it, y'all. You know I'm quick with it.
I see, man. I see. Brought the A game today. Sadly, nobody cares about damn. We're talking about the NFL. That's what we're talking about.
Well, I mean, no, I understand that, but I mean, to take an off ramp real quick about the Hope Solo thing, what she did doesn't come close to what Ray Rice did. But try explaining that to her sister and her nephew who got smacked around.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, domestic violence isn't just men attacking their women. Okay, it's women attacking their men. Yes. It's you beating a sibling. Yes. It's you beating your parent.
Yes.
It encompasses a lot of things.
But
wait, I'll say this and then I'll give it to you. What the problem is that we didn't see Hope Solo do this. We saw Ray Rice actually committing domestic violence. That's why he's getting the wrath of the world, because we saw it.
And here's the other thing. We're talking about patriarchal abuse, okay? Mm-hmm. And how society will turn a blind eye to abuse. The NFL, like you said, that weak ass reason that Bashadi brought up about what if women are gonna blah blah. Man, come on. It's time. I'm just saying, the cases of women beating men and men beating women, it's not even close, but it's all wrong. It's all wrong. Yeah. It's all wrong. But we're talking about, it started with the NFL. It talks about Ray Rice. It talks about the Ravens. So I'm just saying, when it comes to that, why not do? I think you definitely could do that. And it would definitely send a message. The message that is sent, for whatever reason in our society, is, as we see women jumping to the defense of these guys, is that it's okay to smack a woman around. What did she do? How many times have we heard women say that? What did she do to deserve it?
Right.
But you know what?
But you know what? But you know what? It used to mean, when people would say that, it used to mean, why would you hit her for that? Now it's like, well, now the same sentence means she must have done something, man. And that's just wrong. That's just wrong.
But you know what? I keep saying that. I'm going to keep saying it. We're a reactionary society. This whole Ray Rice thing blew up because of the video. We talked about that ad nauseum. People were already pissed off and offended the first time around. But it was like tried and convicted, and then convicted again when we saw, and rightly so, when we saw the video. But people are driven by outrage in this country. Same thing with Michael Brown. All the things that we've talked about as we've been doing Men on Everything, people are reacting to situations that are happening in our world, but they're not willing to do anything about them unless it hits them in their doorstep. Yeah. We don't care about what happens as an American society. We don't care what happens in Syria until somebody blows up something in America. Until an American terrorist comes over here and does something to us. We don't care about what I heard a guy on a sports show today who was like, he called a sports show and he said, hey, we're not talking about sports. I can't even watch the game anymore. You know what? There's some things that are worth talking about right now that people need to discuss. Sports. Sports fan. This is one of those moments where you can pull your head out of your ass and not worry about the 4-3 defense and talk about some things that might be happening next door to your house.
Let me ask you this, though. Had we seen Tom Brady abusing his wife in that elevator, would this be as big a story?
Yes.
Would it be bigger?
Yeah.
Would it be bigger?
Bigger.
So it's not about race.
Right.
Okay. Right. Now the second thing is, to back up for a second about talking about terrorists and things like that, would we be more emotionally involved if those Americans would have been beheaded on our soil?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you on that. Adrian Peterson gets he just don't get it award this week because Adrian Peterson has been saying for the last week or so, hey, I passed a lie detector test. What does that have to do with anything? I don't get that. Maybe you guys can explain it to me because I just don't see how he gets that.
His mama don't get it either.
Yeah.
His mama gets it. I think it is I hear the blues.
Yes.
In the background.
They're playing in the background. That's your jam, man.
That's the mother doesn't get it either because I think there are people just they'll say, hey, that's how I raise my kids. I'm gonna do that. Like you said last week, Tony, nobody tells me how to raise my kids. Yeah, but your ass is gonna be kicked out of the NFL, and you might be going to jail. You have to grow. You have to evolve. You have to analyze. You have to step back sometimes to say, well, maybe what I did was wrong. Maybe the fact that I'm the strongest man in the NFL, when I swing a switch, maybe I cause more damage than I can imagine.
So at this point, though, what is it that Adrian Peterson can do? Not to make this right, because it's too late for that, but what can he do to make amends, or can he make amends?
You know what?
Can he call a press conference and say, you know what, I get it. I get it. I'll take my punishment. I just asked, let me show you. And maybe he works with some organizations. I mean, it didn't necessarily work for Michael Vick. Although Michael Vick's situation was completely different. I get that, but
You know what? He needs to have a press conference with his kids. Get to know them. because he doesn't even know some of his kids, man.
Well, he's not alone in that club, though.
I mean, he's not alone. But if we're talking about how you get back on track,
Yeah.
I hate that we're applying the same methodology to multiple situations. But Ray Rice, Adrian Peterson, you need to figure out who you are. I mean, if you're procreating at an amazing level, what does he have? 7 or 8, 9 kids, 1 dead.
Yeah.
And didn't even know the kid that was dead. Didn't even really know the child.
Right.
I mean, that says something that should raise a whole bunch of flags. He needs to assess, if he's passionate enough about discipline as a father, then be a father. Be a father to your kid.
Damn, Troy.
I mean, I'm just saying, then be one. Not just name and belt alone and switch alone.
And the thing that and we sound like if I heard a white sports guy saying this on TV, I probably would feel some kind of way. But I feel like we can say it, which is wrong. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I'm just gonna say it. But that's a great point, Troy. And I think some people say, well, hey man, why are you kicking a man when he's down? Why are you, piling on? Well, we are because that's a good point, Troy. You're a multimillionaire who's been blessed with amazing talent. You got all these freaking kids with all these freaking different people. Look, man, it's time. This is an opportunity. Tony, you said, can he redeem himself? Look, forget about football. Like Troy said, get your life under control. I'm not judging you from a standpoint of, I am judging you, but my judgment is from concern, because at the end of the day, if this had to happen to make you a better dad, a better relationship with your family, with your kids, then it's a blessing. And that's where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from a place where I'm trying to tear you down. We're not coming from that place. So when I watch it on television, including Ray Rice, when I watch it on TV, it comes from a place where people don't give a shit about you and they're just dogging you. We do care. We do hope that Ray Rice learns from this. We do hope that all these black athletes who happen to be African American going through this, we hope they learn from it. Because at the end of the day, if they learn from it and they can become better men, that's what our goal is for them. Not to be in the Hall of Fame. All that stuff, forget about it. Be a better man. I could give a damn about your football career at this point. They were saying Peterson's not getting anything, he's going to come back. Man, work on being a better father.
Well, let me ask you this now. Given what has happened with Adrian Peterson, will he get into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Probably. Yeah, the Hall of Fame doesn't have a morality clause in it anymore.
Yeah, but they tend to look. I mean, in baseball, they won't let Pete Rose in. Still,
well, Pete Rose, they were not.
He didn't harm anybody.
Baseball is a bunch of haters, though.
But you know what? Yeah. What he did was he harmed the brand.
Yeah.
And Adrian Peterson has harmed the brand.
I think
does that keep him out of the Hall of Fame?
Football, I think football is a little different, Tony.
Football is a little bit different.
We got murderers in our Hall of Fame. OJ don't have no asterisk on his bust in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Ain't no asterisk, Tony. Ain't nothing explaining and murder. It's just OJ Simpson.
Showing highlights and everything. No, no big deal.
But there's a lot of people though who, because it's been 20 years since O.J. Simpson, that whole thing happened. It was in 1994, and here we are 20 years later. There's a lot of young people who don't know that O.J. Simpson was anything else but a murderer.
And he's never been a convicted murderer.
True. He's not a convicted murderer. He's no. I had to think about it. No, he's not a convicted murderer. No, he's not. He's not. So Tyler Perry's gonna be a daddy, y'all.
Wait a minute, Tony. Before you go there, if you guys get a chance, and Tony, maybe you can put this on Talking 360. Did you see our friend Wendell Pierce on Bill Maher?
I did.
I heard he broke it down.
He broke it down. I saw him Sunday. I saw him Sunday in Brooklyn, and so yeah, Tony, when you can't put that up too. Bill Maher asked the question: is this a black thing? And man,
what a black thing.
It's violence. It's violence. It's corporal punishment. Is this a black thing? And he so eloquently broke history down, starting with Troy, the beheadings that happened in Louisiana after slave uprisings, and the Tuskegee experiment and the history of violence, and that is America. And so that question, because I asked the same question though about the NFL. I was talking about the brothers, but they start the hate that hate produced, if you will. He addressed that, so just want to give him love for that.
Okay.
And he's gonna watch once he figures out how to work Google. He said so.
Okay, cool.
Damn.
Well, Tyler Perry's expecting his first child.
Tyler, quit playing.
That's great, man.
Well, congratulations, Tyler.
Is
these
is it going to be named Blanket?
Yes.
Chiffaro. I mean, it's going to
let's just be happy for him.
Wait a minute. Sure, you said Chiffaro. In honor of the black, the old black.
He's from the South. I thought Blanket would be good, but that's been used by another questionable father. So maybe Chiffaro would be a better name.
Chiffaro and Breakfront.
Man.
And possibly Switch.
Well.
Chiffaro Switch.
No. So these leaked photos, man. These leaked photos. I know you've seen them because you're journalists and you've seen Gabrielle Union and her toplessness, and we've seen Rihanna. The pictures of Rihanna and Kim are really no big deal because we've seen the naked already.
But yes,
although Kim's a beautiful woman. It's just But anyway,
Tony, you got a chance to see Gabrielle's Unions?
I did see Gabrielle's Unions. Yes. Now she's ready to sue. She wants consequences and ramifications. Megan Good, she says those pictures were for my husband.
Hold on, let me get for Megan Good. And out of Megan Good, I think we have to pull out the Brubaker.
You're a Brubaker.
Yo, damn, Megan. Megan Good.
Not
church has something to smile about every day and Sunday.
Well, yeah.
Well, and then this other picture pops up of her flashing her boob in a restaurant, apparently to her husband. She says, "I was on my honeymoon. We were having fun," and the church folks are mad at her, saying, "What kind of first lady is she?"
First lady with an exposed breast.
Well, you know what? Let's look in your closet first, criticizers.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, don't go in them old closets. You want to see them roaches. don't go in the closets.
Man, it just amazes me how they come out when Megan Good, she's married to a man who is a pastor. Yeah. Devon Franklin is also an author. He's a TV producer. He does a lot of things, but he's close with God, and she's supposed to be walking that path with him, and she's being criticized.
Hey, I want my first lady to have nipple piercing. Why not?
I mean, Tony, the ship has sailed. With after you have a gospel reality TV show that, from what I understand, I haven't even watched it, but I understand it's completely off the chain, like all these other shows. How can you expect Megan Good to keep her goodies inside? I mean, it's like we're saying that we have evolved in good and bad ways. We've learned, in general, not to beat other people. In general, we've learned we shouldn't spank our kids, but we have also devolved to a point that we allow them to watch Beyonce and her booty on television,
right? And
think it's okay. So I mean, we're all over the place when it comes.
We
to
are all over the place,
level of morality, and at a point where in some way, it's like, where do you question what people should or should not do?
And like you said, Troy, I would if there was a lie detector test at church. How many people have taken nude pictures on their phone?
Oh my goodness!
Woo! Well, even Big Mama might have to. Oh well, there was this one time. I was showing Glodine my new
Glodine.
What goes on between me and Glodine is me and Glodine's business.
That's right. What do you think about the overarching theme of these photos coming out? The fappening.
What do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
It's called the fappening. When you
the fappening.
Yes.
A new phrase.
It's a new phrase. I don't know. You got.
You guys don't know it. Yeah, you're not familiar.
No, I'm not.
All
So
right, I'll explain later.
okay.
It has a lot to do. It's like a sound. It's a fap. It's like the sound effect.
Oh.
The sound effect that you might have when you're looking at some of these photos.
Oh, okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
Something's fapping in here.
I think I fapped 4 times yesterday.
No, you a fapping. What's the fap, man? What's the fap?
Yeah.
Hey, now the first male celebrity to have his photo leaked is supposedly Omarion, who I don't know if you saw his picture, but good Lord. Oh, Omarion. Wow.
They said that actually, never mind. My joke, I forgot my joke, but they said he has the penis of the size of a 4-year-old. No, really,
that's not
really the size of
Literally.
the size. Yes. Yes.
Oh man.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Glad I
Man.
missed out on that.
I almost had to give him the Brubaker, man.
Oh man.
So the one of the big pop culture stories is the story of Charlo Greene. Charlo Greene is the TV reporter in Alaska who decided that she would leave her job as a TV reporter to sell weed in Alaska, basically.
She went out in a blaze of glory.
She did go out, and how ironic that her last name is Green.
Exactly.
But the way she quit was very blunt.
Yes, it was.
You know, and
She had to do it in one take.
She did. The crazy thing was that, you know, I was saying this earlier, that they should have just went to commercial. Why did they pitch it back to the anchor? The anchor's sitting there stunned as anybody else.
Yeah, you know
so
why?
Just go.
Because it's Alaska. That was the anchor's first week on TV. I would have been done. What the hell just happened? What the, you know? I mean, I think it was so. First of all, the way that she did what she did was obviously she was like, let me leverage this thing so I can insert myself into the conversation about marijuana in America. So she explained. She had a long, maybe 3.5-minute video explaining, you know, the First Amendment rights and da. So she's trying to get into the conversation, and maybe she has, but you can't, that is kids. That is not what you do. That is not the way to do it. Yeah, maybe she opened up her dispensary in Alaska, and she believes in marijuana and she wants to sell it, and that's her thing. But you know what, man? When McWeed is going to be open in about 5 years, and those dispensaries aren't going to matter when big business gets involved, and she's going to wish she had a reporter's job in Alaska, everybody's going to be looking at that tape right there.
I don't know, Troy. That is the other thing, Troy. It was Alaska.
But I mean,
lose your job.
But now, because it's YouTube, it's all over the world. So is her broadcast career over?
Yeah.
But I don't think she wanted to.
Well, clearly she didn't want one.
Well, and the beauty about working in television in Alaska is getting another job is not really what happened. In television, you just work. I did news in Alaska, and then I started my career in floor making. You know, it's not necessarily moving to the next market.
You know, you forgot Sarah Palin. She did TV too. I'm just saying.
Right.
Well,
she could be Mayor Weedville, this new chick.
Charlo Greene, according to TMZ, is having a legal problem besides that, because she allegedly smoked so much weed at her house that her next door neighbor's kid got ill violently, and they want consequences and ramifications. A guy named Tyler Gilbrecht told TMZ that Charlo and her boyfriend moved into the apartment above his in June, and she immediately started stinking up the place with so much reefer, His 4-year-old daughter became violently sick from the fumes seeping through the walls.
Yeah.
And it got ugly when Tyler told the building manager what Charlo was doing. Charlo harassed and threatened Tyler several times, telling him to watch his back. Tyler filed for and got a temporary restraining order against Charlo a couple weeks ago. She's since moved out of the building and has to stay at least 20 feet away from Tyler and his family. A court hearing is scheduled for later this month. Charlo claims Tyler is the one harassing her by hurling racial slurs. Messy. And she wants a restraining order of her own now. So
messy.
Man, she was chiefing so much, man, that the smoke was coming through the walls, man. Was that?
and had the kid tow up.
Now the only question mark is her apartment was above his, correct?
Yeah.
Now, does smoke travel downwards?
I guess when you got enough of it, I guess it's got to go somewhere.
Your Honor, obviously, smoke rises. He's confused.
Well, I mean, you know, she's got a store now, so no telling what they had up in there. Maybe they had plants sitting around, or I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I guess we got to go to Alaska to find out.
Man. So to go back to the new pictures for a second, man. What is so special about the nipple? where it's so sacred.
That, Tony, for real?
No, I mean where it's so sacred that when it's shown, we're like, I mean, we see cleavage, we see under boob, we see side boob, we see all this, and everybody always covers up the nipple. We know what a nipple looks like.
Yeah.
Is American society that uptight? Because I would imagine, I always hear that in European countries, it's not that big a deal.
I think it's the gooey nougat.
Come on, man, that's America's on button.
At least for my wife. At least for my wife, it is. I'm joking.
TMI.
Man, I mean, I've always wondered that though. Why is it that we can see cleavage, we can see under boob, we can see side boob? I mean, there are websites dedicated to side boob and under boob, but that nipple, man, in this country is so sacred that women, they have to cover that part up.
Hey, man.
I've never understood why that. We know what it looks like. Yeah. We know what a nipple looks like. So what you hiding? If you're going to show it all, show it all. I mean, but I will say this, because in this society, you know, like some websites and some magazines that are like Maxim. I remember when Maxim first came out, and I haven't seen a Maxim in so long, but when they will not show the nipple, because when you show the nipple, then that separates your advertisers. Advertisers will go up to, they'll take a side boob and an under boob and the biggest cleavage you can get on a picture, but that nipple is where they say, you show the nipple, we're not advertising.
Not doing it. We are not doing it.
Nope.
They're nipplist.
No money.
They're nipplist. Yeah. So I mean, so what is so special?
We need to advocate for the nipple. I'm with you, Tony. I'm a nipple advocate.
I'm not a nipple advocate. I've always wanted that. I'll put that on my lower third, man. Tony Scott, nipple advocate. So.
But you know what? You know, Japan, same way. In their pornography, you know, they pixelate the genitalia. I mean, I don't know.
But I mean, in this country, we celebrate every freedom that we possibly can, but we won't set that nipple free, man. I don't.
That's free.
I don't know what that's about. So
I'll tell you what, Tony. If they set the nipple free, that ain't gonna end there. You're gonna see a whole lot more after that.
Well, we have run out of time.
The ham sandwich. The ham sandwich is next.
Set it free.
Man.
We are done. That's the show. That's the show this week. Men on Everything. If you give this a thumbs up, that would be so appreciated. If you can share it, repost it, like it, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That helps us rise in rank as far as search, which helps us gain more steam. So
we're trying to get money, okay?
I mean, you know, I ain't working. Brother need an income. You know, Mark and Troy, they know they've had that pain.
Now on.
Huh?
Oh, man, we still. Yeah, you're right, Tony. And you know what? If you want to watch this video, just click on the nipple, and it'll take you right to it. That's right.
Also, you can subscribe to the newsletter at talking360.com. com, and I believe, let me get this right, there is a tip jar right here. Is it right here? It's right here. So you can leave a tip of $1, $5. You can leave $500 if you want to. Don't expect you to, but $1 would be nice. You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you watching, though. From New York City, that is Mark Clark at Radio 103.9. From Bubba Gump's in Washington, D.C., that is Troy Johnson. And from my basement in St. Louis, Missouri, I'm Tony Scott. Thanks for watching Men on Everything, and we'll see you next time.